So what's up in the garden here? These edible taros, some of them this is probably the biggest one, gotten really big. You can also see kind of some of the roots on the bottom coming out of here instead of being buried. Maybe I should have put the tubers a little bit deeper. I've had to redig a few of these guys already and rebury them into the ground. That one in the middle there, we kind of did that the other day. Natalie's mom came out to the pumpkin patch yesterday, and boy, she was amazed. You know, by the time she came out, all the kids were home from daycare and school and stuff, so we didn't really get to give her a full tour of the garden. Look at I guess these are purple asters. They're kind of starting to flower here, and don't want to. There we go. Sometimes you got to put your hand behind there just so that it'll focus where you want it to focus. We got our cherry Rio Grande here, kind of being buried by all the weeds. It's got a little bit of growth. Anyway, as I was saying before the dogs interrupted me, and people were making noises all over the place. She's going to come back and do some photos of some of these flowers, these male flowers from this pumpkin. And she was amazed at how big this single plant has gotten. Still quite a few red navels. I don't see any on the ground. Usually we have a lot fall each year, but now maybe the tree is starting to stabilize and get more ready to hold more fruit. Look at all the yellowing here. You could possibly eat these guys now. I know you can eat them now. Wonder how good they would be right now though. Do we wait another month? It's kind of good to be back out in the garden and focusing on certain trees and fruits and looking at stuff, because lately I've been trying to do topics just with a garden background and stuff like that, and I have scrapped probably 10 videos, gardening and other videos that Natalie and I have done. Sometimes I felt like I was getting into a political topic, even though I wasn't really conveying any sort of political affiliation. So I said, I'm too political. I have to scrap this topic. I'm going on and on about, and sometimes the topic is great, and I just have a 15, 20, 30-minute video, and I'm like, I need to talk faster. I need to get to the point, and I just scrap it. Lemons, I don't know if you guys remember, but our first set of blooms died, and then it rebloomed, and they're just tiny, tiny, tiny. They look like little grocery store lemons, except they're green. These guys can get pretty big, once they get that yellow coloration. So is a freeze going to affect these guys, just because of how late they are? We're going to see. The weird weather we've had over the last year or so just messed stuff up, and some of the Mayer lemons are still blooming, or Meyer lemons, or whatever they're called. I haven't really got this side of the seedling grapefruit tree in a while because of all these Biden's Alba seeding here. So my shorts and socks and all are probably going to be full of Spanish needles. Still probably nowhere near ready on these grapefruits. I wish they'd have a little bit more size on them too. So one of the cassavas, probably about 8.5 foot tall, maybe 9. So we are kind of outside of the cold hardiness zone for these guys. So what do most people do with these? Do they just harvest the bottom before the freeze, the roots that people eat, and then chop the top off and overwinter them in a garage or something, and then reroot them every year? Behind on our planting here, like this Mineola Tangelo, looks like it needs some water or rain. It's a little sad looking right now. Our Sambokans are definitely looking small too this year. That little early frost, I guess, when they were flowering just affected a lot of fruit. We even have African violets that are blooming right now that are flowering. Surprisingly, I haven't seen any of our turmeric or our culinary ginger bulbs that we planted in wetland zone 1 come up. So we might actually have to do some live plants here. You know, we got the ginger here, we got turmeric here, you know, and we got our taro here. Luckily, the taro seemed to do well on its own. Now, when Natalie's mom was here yesterday, she grabbed some of these Biden's Alba Spanish needles, and I guess she told Natalie she was going to plant them at her apartment complex, so they may be really angry with her if they come up. So we have a lot to do, but we also are in this waiting zone where there's not much as far as buying, acquiring new things, and planting new things happens. We need a nice freeze to wipe out the weeds, but we also do not want it to be consistently cold, consistently hot, consistently have mosquitoes out when we're out in the yard. We want to enjoy the yard so that we can work in the yard and grill, cook out, all that stuff. And we don't want it to be wet all the time. You know, wet means it's hard to work outside. Natalie can't get outside when it's flooded. You know, her wheelchair gets stuck in the mud easily. Some people don't celebrate Halloween. Some people spend money on candy and costumes and going out. So we got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and tax season. Plus, like I said, we're getting ready for the next gardening season. All coming together within like a 2, 3, 4 month period. This is our most expensive kind of hoorah shopping plus taxes. So the bank account definitely takes a hit this time of year. So exciting times, stressful times, everything just is all together. But at least we got to look at a few things in the garden again, like our red navels here. I'm excited to see how they taste this year. We did do a good fertilizer regimen, this year to try to, kick off production and stuff, and it seems like it definitely paid off for these guys here. All right, take care, guys. I just went ahead and picked one of these guys. Oh my gosh, juicy. 62-degree morning, so they're nice and cold. It is ready. Hard to peel because it's still a little bit green. They might get a little more growth and flesh on them over the next couple months, but wow.